Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Qasim, and today I'm going to be reviewing for you all the HomePod Mini. I've got it right here with me. This is an interesting product for me because it's designed to be a smart speaker. Now, as a speaker, it does a great job. It sounds great. It sounds phenomenal, actually. I was really surprised at how great of sound quality you can get from this tiny little speaker. But as a smart assistant and integrating it with your smart home, that's when things get tricky. So first I want to start off with the design of the HomePod Mini. All around you've got this mesh fabric, feels really nice. Up top you have the volume plus and minus controls, and then you've got this little display that glows whenever you do talk to Siri or whenever you are playing music or any kind of content. On the bottom side you've got this plastic piece with the Apple logo, and this is basically its stand. So just set it down and you'll be good to go. So it's a very simple and nice design. It feels really nice to touch. So now that you know about the design, let's talk about the speaker. Now you can use one of these by itself and it'll be great for a room, or you could pair two HomePod Minis together to have a stereo pair and really fill the room with good audio. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a couple tracks from my phone and have them play on the speaker, just one, and then I'll also add a second HomePod Mini so you guys can kind of get a comparison to see, how this performs on its own and with another HomePod Mini. Okay, so we are in my room. So what I'm going to do now, I've got a white one right over here, and then I've got the black one right over there. And I've got my iPhone right here, and it's right now connected to that one over there. So what I'm going to do is at about 25%, I'm going to start the playback, and then I'll slowly increase it as we go along. So that way you can hear just how that one sounds alone. And then I'll pair the two together and we can hear how both of them sound at the same levels. So let's go ahead and play this. So now that's playing. Okay, let's move it up to about 50%. Now it's like 75. Now all the way. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is add this second one here. So let's go ahead and select that. So both are at about 25%. So we're going to play them back in the same fashion. So let's go ahead and play. So now we're getting audio from both of them. Okay, here's at 50%. So that's 75%. So now from that clip, you should have been able to hear that this, whether it's on its own or with another HomePod Mini, it's going to sound great. It does a great job filling the room with good audio from whatever you're listening to, whether that's going to be podcasts or music, anything, it's going to sound great. I honestly think that one is more than good for a room, simply because, I don't know, the way I look at it, if I'm in my room doing anything, I don't really need to blow the doors off the room. So if I can just have good audio playing in the background while I'm doing other things, I think one is more than sufficient. Now, a cool feature when playing audio is handoff. You simply just take your iPhone over to the HomePod mini, and whatever you're playing transfers over there very seamlessly. It literally happens instantly, and at first, you kind of have to play around with it to get it in the right position. But I've noticed if you just kind of hover the phone above the HomePod mini, it does a good job of transferring the audio over when you want it to play on the HomePod mini, and then also to bring it back. Now, another cool thing about the handoff feature is that you can use it for phone calls as well. So if you're on your computer doing some work and you answer a phone call on your iPhone, you can simply just hand it off to the HomePod mini. And this thing has built-in microphones, so you'll be able to just enjoy having hands-free phone calls inside your room, your office, wherever you have your HomePod mini. Another cool thing about the audio is the fact that anywhere in the house, so if you have a bunch of these split up in different rooms throughout your home, then it's very easy from your iPhone to select which HomePod you want it to play to. And then if you want to play music on multiple HomePods, it's very easy. So its integration with Apple devices, that seamless use that you get from just the iPhones and these speakers or an iPad or a MacBook, anything like that, it's really simple to play music directly to one or multiple speakers throughout your home. See, now using the HomePod mini as a speaker alone, it's been a great experience, right? You can simply send over audio from any of your Apple devices. They integrate well with each other. Everything works seamless. The audio quality is good. You can pair them up or have them in separate rooms. But my problem with this speaker is having Siri. Siri is great for sending messages, telling you about things in your reminders, and so on, right? But where the problem for me starts with Siri is integrating things in my smart home. So I started integrating things into my smart home about 4 years ago. And over the years, I've accumulated so many devices, from smart plugs to the Google thermostat, to the Google doorbell, to the Google Nest Yale lock. All these things are already in my home. And if I was to try and use the Apple Home app, well, majority of my devices just are not going to work here. See, now I could add a new bridge, and pair up Google Home and Siri together so that I can have them work together, but that's just more trouble for me. I don't want to go through all that trouble just to have Siri control my things. See, now when I started buying speakers like this from Google, the Nest Mini 2nd generation, they were around $50, but now these go for $30. And I can get, if I buy 4 of these, it's going to be $120. And I could buy 3 of them for less than the price of one HomePod mini. And the fact that Google Home is just so much more compatible. Also, Alexa is very much compatible with the majority of smart home devices out in the market today. Alexa alone has like over 100,000 skills that you can incorporate with it. And in this department, this is where Apple is lacking. I just don't think that they pay enough attention to the smart home category to actually make things work to where you can incorporate Siri full on with a smart home. So me personally, it just doesn't make sense. And that's why I can't love this speaker. I can't justify spending $100 on one of these devices and then adding more and more and more when I've already got a bunch of Nest Minis throughout the home. I've got the Nest Wi-Fi, which has the assistant and the speakers built in. So anywhere in my house, I'm able to control everything. And what's great is I have the Google Home app on my iPhone, and through that, I can just control all the lights. And I've even got the Assistant app on my iPhone. So, just trying to integrate Siri into my home, it's just not worth it. Now, what if you are somebody who is just getting started with a smart home? I don't think this is a good idea to start with, simply because buying multiples of these, again, you're going to have to spend way more to buy multiples of these HomePod minis. And then on top of that, just the compatibility. There's just not as many products that are compatible with Apple's HomeKit as opposed to Google Home and Amazon Alexa. So for example, I use smart plugs, right? So these are controlled through Google Home. Those I buy for around $20 to $25 for a 4-pack. Now, if you want smart plugs that are going to work with Apple HomeKit, go on Amazon, do a search for Apple HomeKit smart plug, and you're going to notice a price increase. Somewhere there's $30 for just a 2-pack, and other places it's $40 for a 4-pack. So even when you do go to buy smart home devices that you want to use in your home, you're going to be ending up paying a lot more than you would with Google Home or Amazon Alexa, because a lot of third-party devices are always working with those two, but most are not compatible here. So when you are starting a smart home, and trust me, when I started my smart home, I started with a few light switches. So instead of actually changing the bulbs, I used the light switches, and now I was able to control them. And if you start with one system, you want to just stick to it. And you want to choose something that's going to be compatible with most devices out in the market. And for those reasons alone, you should either go with Alexa as your personal assistant or the Google Assistant with Google Home. Now, another problem with Siri is the fact that for music, your only choice right now is Apple Music. Play some music on YouTube.
The app hasn't added support for that with Siri.
Play some music on Spotify.
One sec. I'm having a bit of trouble here. Please try again.
So I have YouTube Music, and I've had Spotify Music in the past and Apple Music in the past. But the problem is that if I want to play a song, I can't just ask Siri to play a song on YouTube Music or a playlist from Spotify. I simply can't do that right now at the moment. This might change with time, but the only service that you have available here is Apple Music, and then there's also Pandora. I don't use Pandora, but if you do, then this will work out for you. So I simply had to go out and get a trial of Apple Music again, just so that I could ask Siri to play certain songs for me. Now, if you are using YouTube Music, Spotify, anything like that, you can still use handoff, and you can still AirPlay YouTube Music, Spotify, all of that over to the HomePod Mini, but you can't just simply ask Siri to play a playlist for you or to play a particular song for you unless you've got Apple Music. And that, in my opinion alone, is such a big downside. Apple should have definitely integrated Spotify, YouTube Music. They should have integrated these things into it so you could link them as services in the backend. For example, inside of Google Home, you have the option to link multiple services. So that way, when you ask Google Assistant to play something for you, she can find it in that particular service. All right, so now that final question, right? Do I recommend that you go out and buy this? I honestly don't. I really wanted to love this product from that initial moment that I took it out of the box. I loved it right away, just for the speaker itself. But when you go and think about it as a smart speaker, it's really not a good choice. In terms of compatibility with smart home devices, you have so many better options with Google Assistant and Amazon Alexa. So you're better off going with them. And if you just want a speaker to use with your iPhone, then there's lots of speakers that are Bluetooth, and even the Nest Mini, the Echo Dot, there's lots of speakers out there that you can put in your room, put in your bathroom, and have some good sound from them that you'll be able to enjoy and not have any issues. I just can't see myself going out there and spending $100 on one of these and then adding multiples of them throughout the home. In my opinion, every product has a purpose, right? So your MacBook, your iPhone, they all have a purpose that they help you achieve. This just does that partly. It achieves the speaker part perfectly well. It does a great job as a speaker, but as a smart speaker, it's really lacking. And to spend $100 on it, I just don't think it's worth it. Trust me, I love my Apple products and they're great. But in terms of Siri and smart home integration, I just think that you're better off going elsewhere. With that said, that's going to do it for me today, guys. I really hope my insight and review of the HomePod mini can help kind of put you in the right direction as to whether this is the right product for you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below with anything that you'd like to say, and make sure you subscribe to the channel for more videos. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you all in the next video.